Hey, Techie, I'll be right with you, okay? Give me 1 second. All right, Techie. So I got a donation for a mini reading. So let me get shuffling and pull some cards for you. Hey, Mystic. Thank you for the donation. You're going to be next, okay? Feel free to leave your question with me if you want. Okay, I got your question. All right, so Techie, he's coming through with the center of the reading being the lovers, and so this card often talks about feeling very connected to you, kind of like on a soulmate level, feeling like he can trust you, and that this connection brings or will bring harmony and balance into his life. This card talks a lot about having like a deep connection and a desire for union with you, wanting to get closer to you. Um, Sometimes it can talk about feeling very attached to you as well, or the idea of you guys coming together and being in a relationship. This is like him saying that he feels physical attraction, romantic attraction, emotional attraction to you. From what he understands so far, he feels like you guys share similar values as well. This is like the heart chakra and the card of communication. It's the Gemini, the twins. So basically, he's working from his heart center when he thinks about you. And when we're talking about his energy and his feelings, it's coming from his heart center. So that means that he likely has like an emotional connection to you as well. Um, and so these feelings go beyond just like a crush at this point. It's something that he is developing, I think, more on an emotional level, potentially because he is maybe fantasizing or thinking a lot about what could possibly be from this connection, and he's putting a lot of like heart-centered energy into it. You're coming through as the Queen of Cups for him, so he feels like you're someone that he can trust, someone that has the same morals or values as him, and he feels like you're very sincere and genuine type of person. He is saying that this is still very new. Um, Even though there's been attraction here, for a while, he's saying that it hasn't quite developed into the next level yet. He's showing through Page of Pentacles, but he does feel very optimistic and open minded for what is to come. He's viewing you as someone who is really good and balanced at like your heart and your head. So he feels like he's sensing a lot of warmth from you and a lot of like inviting energy. But at the same time, he doesn't feel like you're really rushing or like really putting yourself out there. Maybe just being more observant, but still warm and kind. Do you have any questions for me about this? Anything that I said? And or did you want to add on for another reading? Also, sorry guys, I still am healing from my sickness, so. Techie, are you still in the chat? Oh, you fell asleep. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, that concludes your reading. So if you wanted to add on for anything else, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to the next person. You're welcome. Okay, so next up I have Mystic. Mystic, if you're in here, feel free to drop an emoji or let me know in the chat that you're here. You are saying, how is Hassan feeling towards you after today? So let's take a look at that energy. Hey, girl. How is Hassan feeling towards Nick today? Oh wow, you also have the lovers in the center of the reading. Knight of Cups came out. It came out earlier, but I was like, I don't know if that was for you or not, but it just came through again, so we're gonna take it this time. Um the This is positive. I don't know exactly what happened. I do have the Five of Swords at the bottom of the deck set and the Five of Wands at the top. So this could talk about some kind of like inner conflict potentially. Like maybe within himself, maybe he was like debating or contemplating some kind of action and kind of going back and forth in his own mind about it. But as far as his feelings towards you after today, they feel positive. Um, as I had mentioned with the lovers in the center of the reading for Techie, if you heard me do that reading, this is the card of like feeling connected to you on a soul level, almost like a soulmate, like they can trust you and that your connection brings about feelings of harmony and balance to them. Um, they feel very deeply connected to you and desire to be closer. Um, he said, I think I needed space to figure out what he wants because he confuses you. That makes sense. His energy towards you is like he likes being around you. He likes being in your company. The lovers does talk about like like a major choice, like basically like maybe he feels like the ball is in his court potentially, because sometimes the lovers can talk about how a decision needs to be made, and a lot of times when we're talking about someone's feelings and the lovers comes through, it can indicate that he has to kind of shit or get off the pot, basically, like he has a decision to make here, and that will affect the trajectory of the relationship. You said he didn't ask for space, but you felt he needed it. So, his desire is to be close to you. He likes being in your company. There's romantic feelings here. There's feelings from an emotional level. It's not just physical. I have the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Cups. So this is talking about maybe he's feeling like a newfound spark with you, or maybe he's realizing from the space that you guys had how much he really does care. The Knight of Cups does indicate that he feels, granted, we're talking about feelings, not necessarily actions, but feelings, that he needs to be making more grand gestures for you. He needs to be putting forth more effort. It's like something that he's perceiving that he needs to do in order to sustain this relationship with you. Um, Ace of Pentacles is also here. So we have Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Cups. So it's like he is cognizant of the fact that he needs to be giving you some kind of offer. That could be more effort, that could be more of his time, that could be um, some type of grand gesture, symbolic gift, that could be, sorry, providing you clarity on something that you've been needing an answer to. It could be solidifying the relationship in a more official way, etc. But he is aware um, that these are things that you are needing from him in order to move forward together. Like I said, the cards are coming out in terms of like his energy towards you and his feelings are very positive. Remember when I had said at the bottom and top of the deck we have Five of Swords, Five of Wands, and that's that inner conflict. That's that contemplation. That's him going back and forth, deliberating like, am I going to do it? Am I not going to do it? So, what you need to be aware of, what's important for you to take away from this reading, is to know that he knows what it is you need from him. He's fully aware of what he needs to do. He's not oblivious. He's not stupid or whatever. He can be playing dumb, but he knows what you're looking for. It's very clear to him. It's his decision if that's something he's going to move through and actually do for you and for your connection, just for the fact that like he does care for you so much is what I'm getting. He's not dumb. He's not dumb. He knows what's going on here. So don't let him play you for a fool, because he for a fact knows what it is you're needing from him. We have the moon here. He has a lot of he's like more tapped into his intuition than he lets on. He likes to make people think that he's not as in tune with like his surroundings as he actually is. So he is very much like able to pick up subtle shifts in energy. He can sense like when you're displeased with him, and you know, if you're like unhappy and he doesn't address it, it's not that he doesn't know, he just isn't doing anything about it. So yeah, I feel like he you know, this space might be a good thing, I would say, because it's almost making him feel like he's realizing more and more like how much he truly does like being around you. So you creating that space probably was a good thing. I don't know like if this is something you continue to do or plan to do, but it might be something that he needs more of. Because I'm almost getting like distance makes the heart grow fonder with him. I feel like he's basically gonna, how do I put this? Like, it's almost as if he wants to do like the bare minimum. And if you allow access to him while the bar is so low, you know, he's going to settle right in that place because he needs to be pushed to want to do more. And I think the only way he's really going to get that picture like fully and understand it is that when it clicks, when he realizes that there is work to do and that he can't just have access to you and do nothing for that he needs to do more if he's wanting to maintain this relationship. And so it makes sense why he feels like the ball is in his court a little bit, because he knows that he's the one that has to step up to the plate and do something. So however you navigate through this, whether that's just continuing to create space and saying, you know, if he wanted to, he would. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. The actions and feelings are definitely not lining up here, but you're not delusional either. Like, this person does have feelings for you. Um, but sometimes feelings aren't enough. Sometimes we have to like also have the ambition to want to put forth effort for a relationship to work. And that's kind of where he's in that deliberation stage right now. Ray, we are not doing free reads tonight. If you want to donate, feel free. He got very jealous one time. It surprised me because he acts like he could care less. You are reminding me of a situation that I was in before I met dated, married my husband. There was a person before him, and like I don't know if I triggered like him or there was like a past relationship and he thought that this was repeating again. But this was a person who like wanted to spend so much time with me, like felt like, I made them feel really special and important, and we really enjoyed spending time together. Um but it was always like, I don't want a title, I don't want a title. And for a little while, that was fine for me, because really I just was living in the moment. I was in my early 20s and I was just like, whatever. But there came to a point where I was like reanalyzing things. And, we had been doing this back and forth for like a year or two. And I was like, well, I am getting feelings for this person. I also am realizing that I want more. Like, I want to know this is going somewhere. And it didn't feel like it was. And there was one night where I had gone out and he stopped by my place unannounced. I didn't know he was going to be there. And he thought that I was like out with another guy. And honestly, because of his like aloofness and his like nonchalance about our connection, I didn't realize that he ever felt that strongly, and he like freaked out. Like, not physically or like violently, but just like emotionally. He just like spiraled after that. And like our relationship was never the same because he felt he couldn't trust me. And it kind of made me think like this, he had to have had an experience with someone cheating on him before. But the thing is, we weren't ever officially together, and that was his choice. And so it's kind of like that, right? Like, it surprised me. It took me by surprise. But I was like, wait, you're jealous? Like, I don't know. I never would have thought it. And our connection was never really the same after that because he felt like he couldn't trust me, even though I wasn't doing anything. I went to Walmart, like, I went to the store. Not only that, but he showed up like unexpectedly. Um, but and then some time went by. We weren't talking for a little while. He tried to come back around when I met my husband, but I was like, no, I'm choosing a new path. But that's what your story is reminding me of a little bit. Um, Him being jealous and just surprising you because maybe all this time you thought, oh, he doesn't care. He doesn't care either way. But I will say this man does care. This man does care for sure. And I think that he would be extremely upset to find out that you were dating someone else, or talking to someone else or whatever. I don't know how far that jealousy would go. Maybe he would just need you to be upfront and transparent with him about it. But I can definitely feel that like territorial nature with him. So yeah, you'll have to just see what happens, and then, just keep me posted on how that's going for you. You feel like you're triggering each other. He triggers a past bad experience for you too, and he doesn't know. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, hopefully you will. We shall see. Thank you, Mystic. I appreciate your donation. All right, guys, we are doing donations only tonight. I'm only going to be on for about 30 more minutes, 25, 30 more minutes. So if you want to donate, feel free. And we're just hanging out. You're welcome, Mystic. Have a good night. Pisces, it looks like we got you in the chat for a donation. Let me know when you're in here and we can get started. Right, he said, I did a thing. I went to a speed dating event. It was so fun. A guy, well, that's cool. I'm glad. I've never done that before. And never will, because I'm married now, but that does sound like a lot of fun. A guy named Alan was very eager and persistent. We exchanged info and talked the next day. He asked you out on a date. He questioned how you were able to see him due to work and having a teenager. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. You're reassuring him that you'll make time the day of the date you had to reschedule. Okay. He became short and distant. All right. All right. Wondering what happens. Okay. Let's see. How long ago was this? I see. Okay. Also, sorry, Pisces, if you haven't been here in the last week or two, I have been sick, and today is like the first day I feel like I've really got my voice back, and even then, it's not great. So you'll have to forgive me. I'm still stuffed up. It started with a sinus infection, went to an upper respiratory infection. I think I'm on the other side of it now. I really hope to God I am. Um, but that's kind of why I've been a little MIA, and also why I sound a little weird. It was Saturday. Okay, so that was fairly recent. Okay. Gotcha. Thank you. I am turning a corner for sure. So you were supposed to meet Monday night. It is now Wednesday night, Thursday morning. So 2 days ago. Okay, gotcha. What happened? What happened? Okay. So a couple of things. I feel like maybe all hope isn't lost. I have the 10 of Pentacles, the Lovers. Hold on. And the 8 of Pentacles. So I don't think all hope was lost. All right. I think it's very possible that if you can kind of try to reboot this a little bit, that it could work. I don't know exactly what you guys have talked about so far or what you said since the cancellation, but showing a little bit of encouragement from your side, being like, I was really excited to go on a date with you. I'm not sure if you're put off by the fact that it was canceled, but I really am trying to like make time for this because I did have a lot of fun. Maybe just like a little bit of encouragement from your side might help kind of rekindle this a little bit. But the thing is that I feel like he's been burned in the past by a similar situation. And I think, unfortunately, he's projecting that onto you. I don't always channel songs. I don't always channel music, but this Usher song, where it's like, you remind me of a girl that I once knew. I feel like that's kind of what I'm picking up from this reading, is that he's been in a specific experience before where there's been a situation like this where the person was too busy for him, had other priorities, had other things that they were doing that distracted them. And I feel like you're dealing with someone, which, sorry to say, but I think you're dealing with someone who's a little bit on the needier side, especially with his eagerness to spend time with you. He probably requires a lot of attention and doesn't really want that attention to be taken away from him. I don't think he's the type of person that necessarily wants to compromise. I think he was very much into you with the Knight of Cups here. And so he was willing to kind of like see it through. But I think that with the cancellation of the first date already happening right off the bat, I think that kind of like put him off a little bit. I think that you have to deal with someone, if you're going to date them seriously, that they're going to understand that life happens and that you do have other priorities. But it feels like this person wants to be the priority. And if you didn't have other responsibilities, that wouldn't be a problem. I have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And so he's very insecure here. And I feel like he just, I don't know, I just, something happened. It just like, he was like, maybe this just isn't it. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe she isn't as into me as I am into her. She's already canceling. She's got a busy, like, he could just be like in that flight mode of fear where he's kind of just sabotaging this before it even gets started. So I really think that this doesn't have anything to do with you specifically. I think that even if the first date wasn't canceled, Pisces, to be completely honest, even if you cancel the second date or the third date, I think you'd be dealing with this. But if the cancellation didn't happen until like further into the date, like let's just say this was like date 5 or 6, he would be a lot more invested. Maybe he wouldn't be so quick to run away. But I still think you'd be dealing with this guy. Like I almost feel like if you pursue this connection, you would be feeling a lot of pressure to make this work. It's like if he can't be understanding right off the bat, and if he can't like just get that things happen and things come up right now, and you guys aren't even like emotionally invested, this might be a reoccurring problem for you as time goes on. So what I can say is that it might be a blessing in disguise, but if you really want to try to see this through because you were very excited about it, and maybe you just want to give it one more chance and just see like, was this just a big misunderstanding? I think that you could technically rekindle it because like I said, I have the 10 of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the 8 of Pentacles, but it is going to require some encouragement from your side to just really like make it known that you're really interested in actually like continuing this connection and going on a date, and that hopefully this is not something that's going to keep coming up. But I think that it would be very important to discuss early on if that date happens to be something that occurs. It would definitely be a conversation. Like I noticed you kind of shut down after the date was canceled. Were you feeling rejected? What were you feeling in that moment? Did you just get busy with life? Like, why is it that you kind of shut down after that? And then maybe talk about like what his ideal relationship would look like in terms of like how much dedication that the person he's with can have to him. Because I think that it's important that he realizes that he can't be your priority, at least not right now. And you kind of need somebody who's going to be like lenient and understanding in that way. And I just don't want you to run into like obstacles with this, and like this becomes like a reoccurring issue for you because he can't seem to just let things go and be okay with how things are. I just feel like he needs to understand you can't like neglect your life. And I don't even know why you canceled. I can't remember if you told me or not. But maybe your rescheduling didn't even have to do with responsibilities. I don't know. But like I said, there's just some people out there that like want to be the main focus, and that's fine. If you didn't have a kid, that's fine. If you didn't have to work, but very rarely is an adult going to meet another adult that doesn't have responsibilities. Like there should be some kind of balance there. But the main thing I would say is like he just wasn't understanding. Like he was triggered by something that has happened to him before, and to be honest, I feel like it kind of felt like a little bit of a tantrum, like a little bit of like a fit, and trying to like sabotage this from the beginning because he's like, well, if this is already happening, then it might just be something that's a pattern and it'll just continue, and I don't want to put myself in that situation. It makes you wonder why he doesn't have kids. You rescheduled because you got to work late and found a nice table on Facebook Marketplace. Oh yeah, you ran out of time. Gotcha. Yeah, he just didn't feel like a priority. And like it just, like I said, it just put him off. He felt like he was being a burden, and like you truly didn't actually want to spend time with him. He probably has a wound where he feels like he's been taken advantage of, or like become like second choice or second fiddle, not feeling good enough. It all stems from insecurity, but that's why you're dealing with what you're dealing with. You get to run home and shower. You thought you had more time. You're welcome, Pisces. Thank you so much. I appreciate your well wishes. All right, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. I said I would only be on for about an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I do see some people in the chat, so I just want to make sure before I go that no one was planning on donating. If you were planning on donating, let me know in the chat right now, like ASAP. Before I sign off, I'm going to give it like another minute or so just to give you guys time to talk in the chat. But if not, I will go ahead and sign off, and I will see you guys tomorrow.